I'm Joanna Small, the Public Information Officer for the Wheat Ridge Police Department. It's Friday, January 20th, 2023, and this is your WRPD Video Week in Review. Here's a summary of some of the most notable incidents your WRPD officers responded to over this past week, as well as a look at some of the cases our detectives could use your help with. Overnight on January 18th, patrol officers were called for a verified alarm at a business in the 4800 block of Van Gordon Street. When they arrived, they found a window had been broken out. Security had observed via surveillance video a suspect enter the business and then leave with a bicycle. Unfortunately, this is the same business that was burglarized on January 16th, resulting in the theft of several bikes. The suspect also broke out a window to the vacant business next door. If you have any information about this crime, please contact our investigative team at 303-235-2945. Every shift, our officers deal with vehicles that elude, but as we've stated in previous social media posts, we always do follow-up. In this particular case, that follow-up paid off with an arrest, several citations, and an impounded vehicle. On January 18th, a gold Buick LeSabre with distinctive damage and fake temporary tags eluded one of our patrol officers. The following day, a different officer located that vehicle parked at a Wheat Ridge apartment complex. Further research revealed a woman associated with the vehicle had been issued a summons last month for driving without a license and the misuse of a plate. Our officer then pulled the vehicle over after a male and the aforementioned female got inside it and attempted to drive off. The male was arrested on an outstanding warrant and cited for driving without a license. The woman was cited for the previous eluding incident as well as other traffic charges. The vehicle was then towed as well. On January 17th, officers were called to an apartment complex in the 4300 block of Moore Street for disturbing reports of an excessive amount of feces and two large dogs being kept in enclosures that were too small. Officers discovered the feces all over the porch area of an apartment unit. Two people then associated with the apartment were cleared through dispatch, and one had 3 warrants for her arrest, while the other had 1. Both were transported to jail. Our community services officers, who are responsible for animal control related complaints, will continue the investigation into the dog's living conditions. Overnight on January 19th, officers were called to a motel room for reports that a guest was causing a disturbance while using nitrous oxide to get high. The suspect began shattering motel windows by throwing the nitrous oxide canister through them. When he was placed into custody, he spit on a WRPD officer, who transported him first to the hospital for medical clearance, then to jail. He's now facing both second-degree assault on a peace officer and criminal mischief charges. On January 16th, officers responded to a domestic violence assault. We'll be vague with details here because of the sensitivity of this crime, but a woman was punched in the face and had her breathing cut off during an altercation with her significant other. Officers discovered she had visible and serious injuries. The suspect had left the area but was quickly located by our officers nearby and arrested. The victim was transported to the hospital and is fortunately expected to be okay. On January 15th, officers were called to Raising Cane's on Wadsworth in regards to a theft of a very expensive bicycle. Take a look at your screen. Do you recognize this vehicle? It's a white Cadillac with Colorado license plate AVLJ88 and is stolen out of Littleton. A witness saw the vehicle leaving the parking lot with a person's arm protruding from the driver's side window holding that bike in place. Here's the bike. The owner describes it as a Bianchi carbon fiber frame road bike that was a gift from his now late father-in-law. The wheels are now black in color and the wrap on the handlebars is now red. It is both valuable and has a very high sentimental value. Please call the number on your screen if you believe you know its whereabouts or have any information about this crime. On January 16th, officers responded to a DUI crash that ended up in the Taco Bell parking lot off Youngfield. The vehicle had driven off the highway, caught air, and ended up in this resting place. When we arrived, we found the driver to be likely intoxicated. He said he was renting the car and that the brakes allegedly had failed. His breath test revealed his blood alcohol content was nearly 2.5 times the legal limit to operate a vehicle. He's now facing charges for DUI, driving without a license, and careless driving. Now let's take a quick look back. Our detectives need your help solving 2 separate crimes, both from mid-November. In the first incident, officers were dispatched to the 4600 block of Quay Street overnight on November 13th for multiple vehicles that had significant damage from metal BB gunshots. Vehicles on Teller Street and Harlan Street were also impacted. Please refer to the map for the specific locations of the victim vehicles. Unfortunately, there's not video footage of this incident. If you believe you have relevant information about this crime, call the number that's on your screen. The second incident occurred on November 16th around 5 a.m. in the 7000 block of West 38th. A white SUV, possibly a Chrysler 500, pulled into the driveway of a business there, attempted to turn around, and backed into the middle garage bay door, causing approximately $5,000 in damage. While no one ever entered the business, the cost to fix the garage is significant, and detectives would like to find the responsible party. Again, if you believe you have information that would help us close this case, please call the number that's on your screen. In between your calls for service, WRPD officers issued approximately 35 traffic citations, made warrant arrests through proactive contacts with people committing lower-level crimes like trespassing, and recovered 2 stolen vehicles. That's all for now. And remember, if you need us, we're always just minutes away.